Member for Lyne.
Speaker, the purpose of the Department of Veterans Affairs should be very simple: to support the men and women who've served our country and to ensure they are treated with dignity and respect. That premise should be at the heart of every DVA process, every procedure and every decision the minister and the government takes. But clearly with this government and with this minister, it isn't. Labor's decision to impose a $5,000 annual allied health care cap from July next year doesn't treat veterans with dignity or respect. Instead, it's the ultimate show of disrespect. It's heartless, it's shameful. This is not how you treat veterans. Where is the dignity and respect in a policy that effectively denies veterans the health care they need, the health care they deserve? When members of the Coalition of Veterans' Voices came to Canberra to raise their concerns about the policy, Minister Keogh, the Minister for Veterans Affairs, initially refused to meet with them. He refused to even look them in the eye when speaking about them when they were standing in this chamber. How can the very person whose one job it is to listen to and represent the interests of veterans treat them with such contempt? I thank the veteran advocates that came to see me this week and all those from my own electorate that have written to me advocating to ensure their fellow veterans get the support they deserve. Now, I'd like to share what some of those veterans have said to me about this policy. Matthew from Coopanook said that $5,000 cap would be exhausted in approximately 6 weeks due to the level of treatment he genuinely requires. After 6 weeks, Matthew will have to wait weeks or months for the DVA to assess and approve additional treatment whilst he goes without any care. Continuity of treatment is critical. Mental health recovery and physical rehabilitation should not be interrupted by administrative processes. Delays increase anxiety, worsen symptoms, reduce functional capacity and potentially lead to more expensive interventions or hospital admissions in the future. Ian from Tuncurry encapsulates the failure of this policy well. He said the suggestion that additional funding may be available in exceptional circumstances introduces uncertainty, additional approvals and delay into an already overstretched system. Veterans should not be placed in a position where necessary treatment is interrupted while administrative processes determine whether care can continue. Vicky from Karua perhaps best summarises the government's appalling policy. Veterans are not a line item, she says. They are Australians who put their lives, bodies and futures on the line for the country. They served when Australia asked them to serve. When they come home injured, the least we can do is make sure they can access the care they need. The Royal Commission into Defence and Veteran Suicide told us that veterans need greater choice and autonomy, not more obstacles between them and the support they need. The government itself acknowledges that around 1 in 10 veteran cardholders who use allied health services will exceed the cap. Veterans have lived with DVA bureaucracy. They know what delays mean. They know what happens when a provider decides dealing with DVA is simply too difficult. And they know that every additional administrative hurdle can become another barrier to care. DVA processes exist to serve veterans. Veterans do not exist to serve DVA processes. So, Minister Keogh, scrap the arbitrary $5,000 threshold. Fix the provider and payment problems. Give veterans genuine choice over their care and ensure that every process, every procedure and every decision made by DVA reflects the Australian Defence Veterans Covenant Oath, which has been said here numerous times today. And I'll repeat it, that we, the people of Australia, respect and give thanks to all who have served in our Defence Force and their families. We acknowledge the unique nature of military service and the sacrifice demanded of all who commit to defend our nation. We undertake to preserve the memory and deeds of all who have served and promise to welcome, embrace and support all military veterans as respected and valued members of our country. For what they have done, this we will do. Minister, I ask you to serve the people of Australia by serving these words in what you do. Take action now. Scrap the cap.
I call the member for Haslup.